And I am back, folks, one final time before I gotta do something. Alright, folks, it's now time for my Stanley Cup predictions. Now, this is based on my outlook, what I predict each team will do. So, I predicted the. So, as you know, I did my outlooks. Um, I predicted the Nashville Predators will be the Central Division first seed, Dallas being second, St. Louis being third. And in the Pacific, I predicted Vegas be first, basically win the division, LA winning second, Edmonton winning third. In Metropolitan, I predicted, sorry, yeah, in the Metropolitan, I predicted Washington be the division winner, with New Jersey being second, the Rangers being third, and in the Atlantic, Toronto being the division winners, Boston being second, and Montreal being third. Wild cards, I determined Winnipeg being the wild card two, taking on the best team in the Pacific or in the West, which is Vegas, and Minnesota being the team taking on the Predators. In the East, I guessed Carolina being the taking on Toronto, with the worst being the team taking, the lower seed being Ottawa taking on Washington. I also guessed, and I'm predicting Vegas will win the President's Trophy this year. Okay, that's my prediction. So now, how I did this, I took my slips of paper, put four names of each, picked them that way, did not look, and I came up with my determinations. So round one matchup, Nashville versus Minnesota. I say that will go 7 games. Minnesota winning 4-3. Dallas taking on St. Louis. Dallas hosting. I say that goes 7 games with St. Louis winning. Vegas taking on Winnipeg. I see Winnipeg sweeping Vegas. That's right. The President's Trophy champions lose in a sweep 4-0 over Vegas. I see Edmonton winning in 6 games over LA 4-2. That was right. Another series that Edmonton beats LA in. I see Washington beating Ottawa in 7, 4-3. 4-3 series, yep. I see the Rangers beating the Devils. I'm sorry. I'm terribly sorry, bud. Andy, my buddy Andy, he's Devils fan also. I don't see the. I predict the Rangers beating the Devils in 7 games, 4-3. I see Toronto beating the Carolina Hurricanes in 7 games, 4-3, and Boston beating the Montreal Canadiens in 7 games, 4-3. In round two, it's Minnesota versus St. Louis, Edmonton versus Winnipeg, Washington versus the Rangers, and Toronto versus Boston. St. Louis will be hosting Minnesota, and I see this go 7 games, 4-3 over the Wild. So the Blues go to the Western Conference Finals. Who joins them? I see, ready for this? Winnipeg in 6, 4-2 series in 6 games, 4-2. So it's the Blues and the Jets in the Western Conference Finals, a rematch from last year's round one. In the East, it's the Rangers at Washington. I see that goes 7 games with Washington winning 4-3. and Toronto hosting Boston, with Toronto winning 4-2 in 6 games. So in the conference finals, it's St. Louis and Winnipeg and Washington, Toronto. Toronto Washington hosting Toronto in the East. I'm going this time. I'm starting with the East. I see this go 7 games with Washington taking it the series 4-3. In the West, I see this go 7 games also with the Blues taking it 4-3. That's right. It's the 2019 champions taking on the 2018 champions. Washington hosting. Who wins? But with Vegas having home ice, so technically St. Louis will be hosting first. That's right. So I see this go 7 games, and I predict the 2025, no, sorry, the 2026 Stanley Cup champions to be the St. Louis Blues. That's right. I predicted. I'm predicting the St. Louis Blues being the Stanley Cup champions in 7 games, 4-3. Here it is. Here's the outlook. That is it is official, folks. Thank you very much for tuning in. I really thought I would not get all 32 teams done, but I did. Thank you very much for tuning in. And I'll be back later today to give you the matchups for today's home, the start of the season. I'm really looking forward to a great season. Once again, thank you very much for tuning in. If you guys got any questions, please ask them. I will answer your questions. And remember, take and remember, please take care. Stay safe. Remember the Lord's watching it, and I'll see you guys later on. Till then, peace.